Hi guys, thank you once again for joining us. So still on the topic of Nigeria, still on the topic of discussing with my friend. So like yesterday or like previous episodes, I'm gonna play what he said. I'm gonna give my response.
One day I got everything you said. One day I got everything you said one day. Everything you said, I have an understanding and I know from the point of view you're coming from. But the thing is that Nigerian problem is a fabric problem. It's something that has both a political and military framework that over time has been used. I think the very foundations, and like I've always said, the very foundations of Nigeria are faulty. Let me put it that way, because one day, when you look at this country and how the politics is drifting, and the section that makes the most that makes the political decisions for us in this country, especially at the federal level, that then in turn affects the entirety of Nigeria. That section of the country, the level of illiteracy there is massive, and that is northern Nigeria. And decide who becomes, doesn't matter who you are, the entirety of the South is the votes we will cast during a federal election day for the president, for any candidate or the presidential candidate, will be knocked out by what Kanu alone will give. Whether the figures are falsified or there are children who are voting, it does not matter. But Kanu, Kaduna, Katsina, they are fondly called in Nigeria the Kardashians, the KKK, and all the Kardashians. Their votes, one vote from one of those states will neutralize whatever you're doing in the South. Is that one? Two, there is an imbalance in the military. The military is dominated by a section of the country. Three, there is an imbalance in the National Assembly. The National Assembly is also dominated by a section of the country. So, the military there is an imbalance. There is an imbalance politically also. Hence, the reason there is an imbalance in the National Assembly. I understand the place of minorities, but in a country like Nigeria that is highly diverse and highly diverse and ethnically diverse as well, and fragmented in a sense, because diversity comes with fragmentation when you look at it, basically, when you look at it like very well, diversity comes with fragmentation. And fragmentation is a hard nut also to crack, because people always pop up with their own ideas of how things are done and how things should be different from this or from that one day. Now, in the National Assembly where we have 5 states, called Eastern states. I believe that Asaba those in Asaba are migrated from Umri, and Umri is an Igbo person, is an Igbo deity. Asaba. Aside Asaba that is in Delta, Oyibo that is in Rivers, Omuma that is in Rivers, and Ichi that is in Rivers, and all of these Igbo groups that are outside the 5 Eastern states, aside them, the 5 core eastern states we have in Nigeria, each would produce 3 senators. So 3 in Abia gives you 6, 3 in Abia, 3 in Imo gives you 6, 3 in Enugu gives you 9, 3 in Anambra gives you 12, and then 3 in Ebonyi gives you 15. So we have 15 senators in the southeast. Okay? What this means, I don't even want to bring in the political divides, because political party divides, because when this is also a factor that will contribute to whatever decisions the Igbos want to be made in the National Assembly. Party will also have and be a factor that contributes to whether that decision will go on or not. Ethnicity also comes in. Now, 15 senators out of 109 senators. Tell me, what can 15 people. What decisions? Well, if you like, bring up bills. 15 people cannot form the third majority of 109. My maths is very horrible, but then I know that this basic maths, 15 people cannot form to third. And there is no way a pro-Igbo bill will make it through the National Assembly. That's one. That's one. So that also means that we need, if we really want to work as a nation, which I think we don't have the framework to work as one Nigeria with the system we have. I'm sorry. I'm not a pessimist, but I also believe that to be realistic means to be faithless. So I also believe in faith. But in this instance, one day, we cannot achieve anything with Nigeria as a Igbo. I'm sorry. I'm just so sorry. And I'm looking at this from the point of view of an Igbo man and the entirety of Nigeria. There are two models that we can use. I don't even want to go to IPOB. I get your point being that IPOB has been hijacked because I feel that illiteracy is also a part of the problem in IPOB. And I feel that IPOB is gradually creeping into an ideology that will tend to hurt us as an Igbo. Not to digress, but then this was how ISIS started. ISIS, or Al-Qaeda, started as Mujahid that was used by the UN and the US to fight the Soviet Union. And then the Mujahid, led by Osama bin Laden and Saudi Arabian money, metamorphosed into Al-Qaeda. And then Al-Qaeda, with the backing of Taliban as well, metamorphosed into Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda metamorphosed, there was a breakaway in ideology, and Al-Qaeda metamorphosed into ISIL and Mosul. And then that led to the destruction in some parts of the Middle East. That is creeping into the South is what IPOB is doing. There might be factions that are in IPOB with different ideologies that will turn to fight themselves and then disrupt the region. That is coming. That is going to definitely happen with the way IPOB is going and with the model they've approached, because by the time this happens, you're going to have warlords. And when you have warlords, groups will be armed. And when groups are armed, the place becomes unsettled. So anywhere you are in the world, your family is in danger. So that is a discussion we need to have on another day. But on the reason I feel that looking at Nigeria in the macrocosm it's not going to help Nigeria itself. Nigeria has to be fixed from the regions and from the ethnic groups before, because it's not cells that form organs form the entirety of the body. Nigeria has to be fixed from the cells before anything can work. And if that is not possible, then let us either operate a regional federalism or we break away. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry, because I don't see this working. I don't see Nigeria working with this current model we have. It is not going to work. I mean, Nigeria, I've never been outside Nigeria. I schooled at the University of Wisconsin. I'm seeking for a master's degree outside Nigeria. I'm not getting the admission. But one thing, yes, you're better exposed. Yes, you've seen life outside Nigeria. I know also it's not easy anywhere. But you see this country with the way it is. I'm not passionate about Nigeria. I'm passionate about Igbo land. I don't care about Nigeria. I really do. And this is also what the average Igbo boy, my age, with my experience and everything, this is their thinking. At the University of Wisconsin, my group of friends, this is our thinking. Because we've seen Nigeria, seen what it is. And I know also that we were part of the system before traveling. But one day, see this country, nah. I know what I'm saying. It's, with the way it's going now, it's not going to work. I'm just so sorry. It's not going to work one day. The thing is that I think what will happen is I will make up time, itemize my points properly, and then give you a proper voice note on IPOB, on what I think of Nigeria, and how the Southeast is going to work. I'm not a problem person. I have solutions. I think that IPOB and the Southeast should have economic plan, military plan, and political plan. Political plan is key, actually. I've had that for severally. And I know what is going to help Igbo. But as it stands now, Nigeria is a huge distraction. This cannot work.
Yeah, there were. I have to say, it's difficult not to agree with a lot of things my friend said. Um, what I'm gonna say is this, right? And I wanna touch on the points he talked of IPOB, indigenous people of Biafra, this movement, that wants to actualize this thing called Biafra, whether you wanna call it a country of its own, whether you wanna call it anybody wanna ascribe to it, really, And where I agree with him and where I'm gonna start from is this point that just like he made mention of the Taliban coming out from the Mujahideen. I mean, I just finished a book, Charlie Wilson's War, where he kind of laid out the history of the Taliban, how the US, like he said, armed these guys during the Cold War to fight to defeat the Russians in Afghanistan, and how later on these guys turned on them. 9/11. We all know the story. And the same thing, if you're a smart guy, if you're someone that understands history, you're gonna see that you're seeing the same patterns with IPOB, with Biafra. Not really with Biafra, because Biafra is a good idea. If anyone wants to leave a country, it's fine for you to want to do that. But the movement that capitalizes on using violence, using killings, using sit-at-home orders, using things that will hurt the Igbo man that you're claiming to protect or you're claiming to fight for. The movement, for me, and like my friend said a couple of days ago, has become a Frankenstein's monster. It's become a Hydra. In the sense that this thing that we think that is going to save us as Igbo people, this thing that we think that for some reason we feel that IPOB is the way to go. We must listen to Nnamdi Kanu. One guy commented on the video we did, and he was like, I have it all wrong, Nnamdi Kanu is this, MNK is that. And I'm like, fine, you're entitled to your own opinion. But to me, what I see is a man who has become so engrossed with power. A man who feels like he's God, that he's infallible, he cannot make any mistakes. A man who for some reason thinks that he can save us. Whereas everything he's doing, the sit-at-home orders, the violence, the killings, everything this movement is doing is geared to hurt the Igbo man. Everything they are doing, nothing they are doing is going to help us as Igbo people. Nothing at all. I mean, I dare anyone to point me to something that IPOB is doing. Is IPOB helping to build schools in Igbo land? No. Is IPOB helping to feed the poor? To clothe people that don't have any clothes? To give homes to people that have no homes? No. IPOB has a lot of money. I mean, Nnamdi Kanu, for example, people keep donating a lot of money to him. The question we should ask these guys, where does all this money go to? Yes, we know you're no leader. You owe nobody anything. But if you claim to fight for the Igbo people, one thing I must say is this: what are you doing to help the Igbo people? What actions have you done? You talked of plan, my brother. You talked of plans, right? What plans does IPOB have? Give us a manifesto, right? Tell us what you plan to do for the Igbo people. What universities do you plan to build? How do you plan to make the existing universities? How do you plan to make them better? There is no plan at all. All we see are people running around, people that, and like you said, maybe IPOB, maybe with a different leader, probably things would have changed, things would have become better. But as it stands now, IPOB is doing everything to hurt the Igbo man. Nothing IPOB is doing is going to help us. For me, the solution I'm gonna profile is this, right? After World War II, I was reading a book, Operation Paperclip, about how the Americans, again, how they took some scientists from lots of sites, not even some, from Nazi Germany, and they brought them to America in order to help the Americans build their weapons, right? And the Jews, these people 6 million Jews were killed during the Holocaust, World War II. Lots of evils happen. I recommend that book to anyone that wants to read it. It's a very good book. Sometimes it comes as depressing because when you read what your fellow human being can do, I mean, no one can really believe that. But it tells you how evil the world we live in is. But my point is this, right? After World War II happened, what did the Jews do? They all went back and said, you know what, let's develop our country. They built Israel into what Israel is today, a powerhouse of a country. Surrounded by different enemies, yet they stand out. Israel is one of the greatest countries on planet Earth today. Whether it comes to intelligence, whether it comes to human infrastructure, whether it comes to being able to use agricultural facilities like irrigation, weapons facilities, anything you want to talk about, the Israelis are doing good. The Jews are doing excellent in them. And my point is this as Ndi Igbo. It's time for us to withdraw and ask ourselves, what do we want as Ndi Igbo? As Ndi Igbo? How can we push? Like you said, what economic plan should we have? What plan should we have for our education? What plan should we have security-wise? What's our plans? How can we build ourselves as a region to the extent that when we build ourselves, Nigeria cannot say we can't do without them? Because now, all Buhari knows he can, like you said, he can win with northern states, he can pick up Imo State, he can pick up Ebonyi State, and he will still win as president. Any northerner can still win, so long as they have those few states that belong to the APC. But my point is this, till the Southeast do what the Jews did post-World War II and say to themselves, let us build ourselves to the point that Nigeria cannot do without us. We are known as a hardworking people. Let's build the best marketplaces. Let's give our people the best jobs. Let's build the best universities, the best hospitals, such that when we've gotten up to that level, Nigeria will be like, you know what, these guys are too good that we can't do without them. No country in the world now, no matter what the Iranians are saying, no matter what the Palestinians are saying, no country in the world now can function without Israel. That's the point they've gotten to. In fact, even America recognizes the importance of the Mossad. That is the equivalent of the CIA in Israel. That's how good these guys are, that the Americans have to cooperate with them. The British have to cooperate with the Israelis. The Chinese, the Russians, you know. So my point is, and this is something I've given a lot of thought to, as Ndi Igbo, let's develop ourselves, you know. But like you said, my brother, the way to go is not through violence. The way to go is not through killing people or through mandating sit-at-home orders. And finally, what I'm going to say is this in this discussion is, like you said, my brother, Nigeria has to be fixed from the regional level, from the state level. Nigeria is 30 states, right? In order to understand Nigeria, you have to look at each of those 30 states. The same applies to America, the 50 states of America. If you want to understand America, you look to New York, Florida, California, blah, blah, blah. Same thing applies in Nigeria. If you want to solve Nigeria, you have to look at, how do I solve the 30 states of Nigeria? Look at the micro level. Don't look at the macro level. Don't look at Abuja. Look at Nigeria as this big insolvable thing. I think people get it wrong when you look at Nigeria as this big country that you cannot solve. If you look at it as these little pieces, Anambra State, Kano State, Kaduna State, Imo, Ebonyi, the list goes on. If you look at it that way and ask ourselves, how can we get it right at this state level? How can we elect leaders that when they come into power, they will do well? How can we elect people that at the state level, they will build the best universities for us, the best hospitals for us, the best road infrastructure, the best in anything? How can we make sure that at the state level we get that? Because once we get that at the state level, believe you me, that means Nigeria is good, Nigeria is okay. But till we get to that point, we're gonna keep struggling. And yeah, as for me, I'm really optimistic about Nigeria. I don't believe in these divisions we have of the West, Yorubas, Hausas, Igbos. For me, yes, I'm an Igbo man, I'm a Igbo man. In that same, I still realize that as a country, we can do better. As a country, there is a lot of strength in our diversity. You know, if only we had good leaders that can capitalize on that, Nigeria man, no, Nigeria no now. You know. So I hope you enjoyed this conversation. I hope please let me know in the comment section below what you think. Like this video, please share this video, and please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you once again for listening.